catastrophe once again for Blackburn Rovers, this time at Ewood Park as they drop 2 more points in the race for the playoffs. Can they actually save their season from collapse, or is it already over? We'll take a little look. Folks, back once again with another match review. Looking back, of course, Blackburn Rovers' latest match, that's right, out of the Championship, up against Blackpool, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe button, you can pay all things Rovers related, Championship related, how to ruin a season related. We've got it all here, boys. I'm at bloody work. Shh. Of course, fortunately for Rovers, I'm at bloody work, so of course I have to dumb it down a little bit because there could be prying ears, of course, listening in. And they could be Blackpool fans, there could be North End fans, there could be bloody Burnley fans, who bloody knows? They could all be listening in as, of course, we debrief the shit show that was, of course, Blackburn Rovers. We'll get to that in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs, the other patrons, guys. Thank you for loving, of course, behind the scenes, right here under one Rooski. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. It was, of course, Rovers, it was, of course, Blackpool, and it was at Ewood Park. So these was the result, 1-1 in the end. Of course, Rovers not doing good, were they? Of course, absolutely shit show for Rovers this campaign. Of course, Gallagher with, of course, on the score sheet, 10th minute on the clock, I'll give it to him. A good goal for him. And I heard, rumour has it, he was playing down the bloody middle. That's right, I saw it with my own 2 eyes, 4 eyes if you include these bad boys. But of course, Rovers took the lead and looked okay at that point at the start of the game. But realistically, I think it was opportunity missed for Blackpool. They were the better side over the course of 90 minutes and could have and probably should have won this game. Of course, there was a couple of little close calls for Rovers in the first half. Of course, a penalty shout, I believe, for Blackpool, which of course should have been given if we're completely honest with you. But the referee was also blindsided by that bad boy and didn't give Blackpool the resulting penalty. So yeah, they had a couple of close calls. We'll elaborate on that in a minute, of course, but they did get the equaliser straight after the break at second half. Marvin Aptipka with, of course, a messy old goal. It's kind of same old for Blackburn Rovers at the back. Calamity, really. I know we've been solid with a defensive core, doing normal defensive stuff, but when it comes to melees and scrambles in the box from corners and stuff, we haven't been dealing with it. Same happened with Bristol City. I think Derby got a messy goal just like that. And now Blackpool just the latest candidates. Of course, screamers, belters, long ranges and all that kind of stuff, Rovers seem to do okay with it. But these scrappy, messy goals where the ball could go anywhere, it just didn't bounce. And that kind of took the stuffing out of Rovers and pretty much took the stuffing out of the game. We didn't really create any chances, really, despite dominating possession. 53% possession for Rovers compared to the 47% possession for Blackpool. We had 10 shots compared to their 18. 18 for the away side. They wanted it more. They were there. Of course, they got the upper hand as well with the first game, of course, Blackburn Bloomfield Road. We were there. This was our chance to rectify the odds. And of course, the scene was set. If you would look at the results for the rest of the day, which we'll show you in a minute, the scene was set for Rovers to get over the line and be in the top 6 heading into the Easter break, of course. Easter cluster fixtures, but of course, no joy there. As you can see for the rest of the stats, of course, 7 corners compared to the 6 for Blackpool, but of course, they took full advantage of one of them getting the ball in the back of the net. Let's take a look at the stats in a bit more detail then, shall we? Of course, by this graphic here. What have we got going on here? I'm trying to see what we got going doing here. Then, pal, what we got, so possession, this is, of course, a combined big chances, 2 for Rovers, big chance, missed one of them, and of course we scored one. They had one big chance and they missed one big chance, but I think they hit the bar as well. I think there was I don't know, I actually watched another game and I might be a little bit confused, but ultimately, it just wasn't good enough for Rovers over the course of 90 minutes. It's been the case, it has been the case. We've either shown up for 45 minutes or not shown up at all over the course of the last 5, 6, 10, 15 games. I don't know what it's been. It's been a very, very much a case of 2 seasons, or two halves of a season for Blackburn Rovers. First half of the season, we were phenomenal. Second half, since Boxing Day, since the cancellation game against Hull City, we've been absolutely dreadful. And of course, today was another primary example. But believe it or not, coming out of this game, we are still just 1 win away from 4th in the table. We have still got that hope. We have got 5 games ahead of us. But realistically, if we can't beat them, no disrespect now here, no disrespect to the teams that we've been playing, but we should have been pinning it. If we have got hopes and real desires and dreams and aspirations to get out of this division, of course, make a flutter for the playoffs or top 6 or whatever, we should be beating Blackpool at home. We should be beating Reading on the road. We should be beating Bristol City at home. We should be beating Millwall as well. Games that we, of course, had big hope, big expectations. and we just haven't shown up. Of course, we have picked up a couple of points along the way. Not very good enough, though, in the grand scheme of things. And again, right around the corner, we've got some bigger games coming up. We've got Preston off end away. That's going to be tricky. Stoke are always hard. Bournemouth as well. And of course, I can't even see us getting a result against Bournemouth. Peterborough, this coming Friday. So it's just doom and bloody gloom. Into the second half, of course, when it was all Blackpool. Take a look at the stats. It's all blue, a sea of blue there. The only thing that we were good at was getting offside. 2 offsides. Even the inclusion of Dak in the second half created little to get excited about. Let's take a look at those starting lineups then, shall we? Of course, Kaminsky between sticks. Wharton, who of course was substituted with a bit of a bashed nose, I think. That's right. Scott Van Heck as well, Lenihan to make up our back three. Travis, Rothwell, Nyambi, Pickering, Dolan, Gallagher and Diaz. On paper, that's not a bad team. But of course, we actually had to make a 4th change. Gallagher came off with concussion. Hopefully he's going to be back around for the game against Peterborough on Friday. Of course, he got the goal. Is Diaz going to score again this season? Right now, I can't see us getting a win. I cannot even see him getting a goal either. I think we have to be relying on the likes of Gallagher, the likes of maybe a shocker, maybe a Dolan goal or something. I can't see anybody else getting more goals at the moment. It just seems to be starved of confidence for Rovers. As for the subs, of course, we saw Buckley, Giles, Dak and Hedges. Giles, you can just forget about it. You can go home. You can go home now. And Hedges, of course, hasn't had the greatest start to his campaign at Rovers. So hopefully next season is where it's all at for Ryan Hedges. So let's take a look at the opposition then, shall we? Of course, Maxwell came into the fold there. Of course, Capitano. Of course, Grimshaw has been deputising for Maxwell for the past 10 or so games. Meanwhile, Thornley, Ekateka with the goal. Of course, Husband, Lawrence Gabriel, Connolly, Dougal, Kirk, Hamilton, Medine and Lavery up top. As for the changes for them, they brought on the likes of Richard Keogh, of course, veteran at the back there, Josh Bowler, who had to set up for a substitutes bench, and of course, Keshi Anderson as well. Let's take a look at, of course, some other bits and pieces. This is the man of the matches and all that kind of stuff. Match ratings. Pickering didn't do very well, did he? Of course, these third party give it to Van Heck for Rovers with a 7.2. As for Blackpool, 7.7 for Marvin Epkepka with, of course, his match winning or match scoring or goal scoring saviour for them. Down the foot, the graphic there, you can see where all the action took place. And again, just a little bit hard done by, I think, Blackpool. They should have took away all 3 points. If we're honest with you, if I'm absolutely honest with you, we didn't deserve a point. We were shit. We were absolutely diabolical. As you can see by the graphic here, Rovers represented by the orange, of course, Blackpool represented by the blue. They peppered us. They peppered the goal, of course. How many shots in the end? I don't know. Count them up yourself. But it's absolutely shambolic stuff for Rovers at home. In a derby, in of course a special match for Tony Parks, of course, watching from the sidelines there, and of course Renzo coming out of there from Chile to kind of spring on some sort of words of wisdom. But again, nothing really came of it this weekend. Building up to this game, of course, Preston now not far away. Peterborough, of course, sandwiched in between. Peterborough and Stoke sandwiched in between that game, but ultimately, it just seems like the season's going to collapse right in front of our eyes. Let's take a look at the heat maps then, shall we? Of course, right in front of you, of course, Rovers at the top, Blackpool down the bottom there. Rovers sporadic again. That final third, not really touching it, are we? Not really getting involved. Whereas Blackpool on the flip side do seem to pepper the 18-yard box. Rovers though allergic to that final 18-yard box area.
Well, I think we fell below our normal standard today. I think the dressing room was disappointed. I think we didn't. I've said I'm not talking out of turn. I've just told that I think our back three have been our best players this year, strong and powerful and resilient. And yet I think we didn't give them a tough day today. The ball stuck around our box too long. We didn't win enough first contacts from basic play, long throws, wide free kicks. Didn't get headed out of our box, and ultimately we talked about it at half time, and yet they scored a goal because the ball bounced around in our 6-yard box or in our box. So I can't sit here and complain. I think we take the point and we move on. 5 more games, every game's different, every game stands on its own 2 feet, and they're a team that have all season against every team showed a good account of themselves. Really, they work really hard and they're difficult to play against, and they've got some athletic players, and they've got obviously a centre forward who is a handful for any defenders.
From your point of view, your goal, really nice finish, good take by Gallagher and a really nice finish from him.
Yeah, I played Sam down the middle today. I normally play him out wide and ask him to run up down them channels and get on the back stick and balls coming in from the other side. And I'm pleased for him that he scored, to be honest. It's was a good finish. He scored a good header a couple of weeks ago against Derby at the back stick, and so he can score lots of goals. And maybe for this football club, maybe Brereton gets sold in the summer, and whether he does or he doesn't is another issue. But going into the last year of his contract, if that's something that happens, somebody's going to have to step up, and maybe Sam Gallagher's the man who can turn into the 20 goals centre forward next season, as Brereton did on the back of Armstrong leaving. So. Yeah, ultimately we're all disappointed. You know, you target sort of games. Blackpool at home, we should be trying to take 3 points as we did, and yet, you know, give them some credit. They made life really difficult for us.
Okay, then let's take a look at what's going on social media then, shall we? Where the hell am I? I think we all kick it off around about here. That's right. Sean Fox, of course, desperately poor stuff, especially the second half. No excuse for this kind of mediocrity when we've got a real shot at playoffs. This team doesn't have the quality or the mentality for a promotion push, and after today we'll be on the outside looking in. Really disappointed. Meanwhile, Carwick said, let's all get real for a minute. If we can't beat Blackpool at home, what do you think would happen to us in the Premiership? We would get spanked every week. We are mid-table championship team at best. Only positive is Dak slowly coming back to full fitness. I 100% agree with you, Kyle, but for me, I want the playoff run. That's all. I just want to be in the playoffs. I want us to see that we can achieve something together. I don't expect us, even if we were to make the playoffs, to get promoted. And I'm right with you. We would get spanked. We get turnover left, right, and centre. But I just want, for Mowbray's sake, because he is such a nice guy, that I want to see him achieve something with us. Maybe for pastures new or whatever. But just give the guy something. But he's just failing it. He's fluffing his lines. Meanwhile, Gabano said, joker performance given what was at stake. 4 wins in 17, 5 more matches of Mowbray is 5 too many. Wesley said, can't help but feel that this is 2 points drop. We couldn't win it for Parks. We lost our edge in attack, and while our defence has become shaky of late, no excuse really with the key players all available today. Really depressing right now. Paddy said, another dreadful, awful performance. End the season and appoint a new manager. Lee Ryan, not that one, but this one, of course. 11 points from possible 39 is a joke. The system hasn't worked since January. How stubborn can someone be? It just doesn't work anymore. Teams have sussed us out, and we need a big change, because if we need to win every game now for a chance for playoffs, maybe. The way things are, who bloody knows? We could probably lose every game and maybe even make it somehow, I don't know, with snookers. Meanwhile, Liam Dunn said, miracle, we're still in with a chance in Regions playoffs. We'll be a max of 3 points off 5th by the end of Monday, so we'll still have to get behind everybody, including the manager. Max of 3 points. Okay, wow, that's good. Good to know. Good mathematician there. Meanwhile, Barnes said, well done, boys. Oh, you've well and truly put the final nail on the coffin. First half of the season, fantastic, but the second half was unacceptable. We could have been so much better. Time for a rebuild. The Mowbray project hasn't worked. Half a season of poor games is not acceptable. Shite again, as Lewis Hartley, one of the Overseas Mafia. Check out his vlog. No passion, no urgency, lack of creativity. Overall, bloody shite. 2 wins in 14, yet Mowbray doesn't get questioned about that. Time to go. Old McDonough, it's a cool name. Even if a miracle happens and we go up, it's Mowbray out for me. Tactically clueless, a stubborn, refusing to acknowledge his system isn't working. Give him some credit though. He knows how to take a creative force like Ryan Giles and make him a below average, but he has been shit. Barnes, once again, think they need a reminder of what Art Laborna means. Nobody ever expected this season to be easy. Generally, it's the belief that hurts the most. I feel like we've been offered a Ferrari only to find out in 5 months it's made out of Fiat parts. At least QPR in the same boat. Northern Rovers said, well, on the positive, we moved up a place, but that's not particularly great. What a shame, given some of the other results. That is probably curtains for top 6, unless we can go on one of those small winning streaks that Tony Mowbray managed to go from time to time. The games are there. The games are there. Chris the one we do said, not sure who was worse the second half, Rovers or the referee, but neither doing us any favours for our playoff chances. Rovers need to find that early season swagger again for the final run-in. Can't be throwing it all away like this. Chris Martin, not that one, but this one, of course. That was honestly the worst second half performance I've seen from us in quite some time. You don't get into the playoffs like that, nor do you win games like that. Abysmal. There he is, the man, Rezo. Poor bastard, saw a lot of a shit show there. And Jordan, he said, absolutely pathetic, lack of urgency, no real game plan. Pickering was with the worst performance from a player all season, best chance of going up since we got relegated, and we absolutely bottled it in the league where the standard has been so poor. Galley, best player on the pitch. Chaos, and of course, Ian Herbert said these final games are starting to feel like the farewell dates of a band that has announced that this is their last ever tour, and the vocalist and virtuoso guitarist have already signed solo deals. He's not right, he's not wrong, he's definitely not wrong. It does have that vibe about it. Meanwhile, what's going on elsewhere out in the Championship then? Let's take a little look then, shall we? Of course, the scene was set, it was absolutely laid up on a plate, and in fact the movie is written for, of course, Blackburn Rovers here after Sheffield United and Bournemouth drew 0-0 in a game which was free-flowing, very, very exciting. I actually enjoyed that game much more than I did Rovers' game. Of course, Preston with a big 2-1 win over QPR. Season has fallen right off a cliff. Millwall, though, right back in the thick of things with a big 4 win over Barnsley. Swansea, of course, looking very, very good right now. 2-1 win over Derby. Of course, Forest with a 2-0 win over Birmingham, up to third in the table now. West Brom, of course, did lose to Stoke, of course. The big shocker for me, though, was Middlesbrough losing at home to Hull City, which has given us another extra life. Of course, Reading did lose to Cardiff. Of course, Bristol City and Peterborough duked it out to a draw as well. Fulham against Coventry tomorrow. Not really bothered about that game, but of course, the big one really is Monday. It's Huddersfield, it's Luton, of course, it's live on Sky. Of course, this is what the table looks like. As you can see, Rovers are in 7th. Of course, 2 points adrift off Sheffield United and Luton at this stage. Of course, a win for us still. Technically, we could go as high as 4th with the next game. Of course, we've got the same amount of games as Sheffield United. We've played just one game more than Middlesbrough, but we're, of course, just 1 point ahead of them for the time being. And, of course, it's actually steadying up a little bit. And Rovers just need to get a couple of wins under their belts, really. A couple of wins, and who knows? Who bloody knows? And I think Forest, realistically, they've got a shot for top 2 at the moment. They've got a real good chance for top 2 right here, right now. Then take a look at, of course, next time around then, shall we? Of course, Luton Town against Forest. Right there. Right, another zinger chicken dinner. I've not really looked at this. Sheffield United against Reading. You probably expect Sheffield United to get there, but Reading are scrapping for their lives as well. Huddersfield against QPR. Hopefully QPR show up this time. Bournemouth against Middlesbrough as well. Could be another opportunity to get an extra life for Rovers. Rovers need to get over the line here and get the win against Peterborough on the road, because it could. Forest win against Luton. Let's just kind of create a scenario for ourselves right here, right now. Forest beat Luton, of course, and they could challenge for top 2. And of course, Bournemouth, we want them to kind of beat Middlesbrough here to kind of keep them away from the chasing pack as well. Meanwhile, what else do we want? We want us to get over the line as well. Who else is in the thick of things here? Huddersfield against QPR. We want QPR to actually show up for a change and maybe save their own season from collapse, maybe even save Warburton from losing his job. But it is very, very spicy back end to the season at the moment. But that is it, guys. That's all I've got for you. Be sure to give the video some love. Please smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Of course, we are here live at work, of course, coming at you right here, right now on a Saturday evening. Make sure you check out the vlog, of course. I might even have a double vlog action with Denver and Lewis, of course, reporting different scenarios. Of course, we have the fan reaction as well, so make sure you check that badger out. And again, off to Canada on Wednesday, of course, just up the road, about 4 hours away. We're going to go there, but and I don't know if I'm going to do a watch along for the Peterborough game. I think I might be the bad luck charm, so I'm going to probably take the day off in regards to that, and maybe just watch from afar and just see if I am the unlucky son of a bitch. But that is it. Give us a love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, check links down below, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, also Patreon as well if you want to support the channel in another way. But that, my friends, is it. Until then, we're done right now.